18 out of 20. Which ones did I get wrong? Hey guys, it's Dave. I grew up in Australia in a Christian household. I was taught Bible stories from a very young age. In my teen years, I got involved in a youth ministry, and I even went on to do ministry college. Needless to say, I knew a little bit about the Bible, both Old Testament and New, but I knew nothing about this book here, the Quran. So I recently decided to read this a couple of months ago, and I was quite challenged by what was in it. My assumptions were kind of blown out of the water, and I was very confused. So what I decided to do is I actually put a quiz together and put it on Facebook to see if people could tell the difference between a Bible verse or a Quran verse. And I got the results in, and I thought it would be interesting to go through the results together. But before we do that, I thought I would give the opportunity, if you haven't done the quiz or you want to do it, I've replicated the exact same quiz, and I put it in the links down in the doobly-doo. So if you want to do the quiz and you don't want the answers spoiled, then click down there, do the quiz, and then post in the comment section what number that you got, how many you got correct. So what I've done is I've taken 5 problematic Quran verses, 5 problematic Bible verses, and 5 just general verses from either. And it's interesting to see how people have guessed, I guess, or made assumptions about. So it's been so long that I can't actually remember the questions myself. So what I've done is I've just gone into the quiz in incognito, and I'm going to just do the quiz myself. Also, just so you're aware, I've removed any identifiable things. So if it mentions like Allah, or if it says something like something really identifiable to the Bible or the Quran, I've removed those things. For the Bible, we're using the New Living Version, and we're using Abdul Halim's translation of the Quran. And all questions are given in a random order. Quran, Bible, 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 Quran, Bible, 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 Quran, Quran, Bible. No, Quran, Quran, Bible, Quran, 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 Bible, Quran. 18 out of 20. Which ones did I get wrong? And we know that God causes everything to work together for good. So that's actually the Bible. Okay. Those who trust in God will find new strength. They will be high on the wings of eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not feel faint. So that's actually the Bible. Interesting. So I've had 56 responses, and it's including the one I just did. And you can see the average was 11.7 out of 20. The median was 11, and the range was 6 to 20 points. So you can see that most people actually got right in the middle here. Which is almost like a coin flip. So if they were just guessing, they would pretty much get exactly the same. We did get a few people who got quite high numbers. So I think I know some youth pastors who did it, who I think got 16 because they told me. But yeah, interesting. So just going down one by one, the majority of people got this one right. Take the virgin women for yourselves. The majority of people got this right, which I found was quite interesting. If a man dishonors his head, he must cover it, but a woman dishonors her head if she prophesies without or prays without a covering on her head. I thought more people would associate this with Islam, but apparently not. God does not burden anyone with more than it can bear. You can see a bit of a bias there, obviously. Don't let anyone think less of you because you're young, so that's kind of 50-50. You must not allow a sorceress to live. So the Bible, most people thought that was in the Bible. I guess maybe because like the Salem witch trials and things like that. God has told you what is good and what he requires you to do. To love mercy and walk humbly with God. So most people thought this is the Bible. So the valuing of men at 60 pieces of silver and women at 30 pieces of silver, most people thought that was the Bible, and they were correct, which is interesting. We save the children of Israel from degrading and suffering at the hand of Pharaoh, so that was kind of 40-57. He created heaven and earth with a true purpose. He formed you and made your forms good. You will return to him. It's quite close as well. This one was interesting. So 26% of people didn't think this was in the Bible. They thought it was in the Quran, and I wonder why. Give away some of your wealth, however much you cherish it, to the relatives, to their relatives, to orphans, the needy, travelers, and beggars, to liberate those in bondage. You see, for me, I would have felt that that was more of a biblical kind of message. Once again, I knew nothing about Islam. Now go and destroy that nation, destroy all that they have, and do not let them live. Kill both man and woman, child and baby, cattle and sheep, camel and donkey. So, like 78% of people got this correct in assuming this was the Bible. I don't know, like most Christians that I talk to normally don't know about these verses, or they don't at least, like, I don't know. That's it. I thought more people would think this was from the Quran, but oh well. Cut off the hands of the thieves. See, I thought more people would think this was the Quran as well, because I thought this was more associated with Islam. I've seen a lot of anti-Islam propaganda that talks about cutting off people's hands. Once again, most people thought it was in the Bible, and they will soar on wings like eagles, and they will run and not grow old. So this is pretty interesting. So most people thought it was the Bible, and it was the Bible. When you encounter idolaters, kill them, besiege them, wait for them every look at post. But if they turn to God, maintain prayer, and pay the prescribed alms, let them go on their way. Most people thought this was the Quran, and it was. The Noah verse, most people, it was 50-50. You see, when I read the Quran, I wasn't sure if Noah was mentioned in the Quran. So, I probably would have, before reading the Quran, I would have probably put this into the Bible. Give your worries to God, for He cares for you. So most people thought it was the Bible, but it was the Quran. But like I said before, there is a verse in the Bible that's quite similar. And we know that God works everything together for those who love God and call according to His purpose. So most people got the Bible correct. No compulsion in religion. So that was kind of 50-50. You who believe, enter wholeheartedly in submission unto God. Do not fall into Satan's footsteps, for he is your sworn enemy. So again, most people thought this was the Bible. Or 66% of people thought this was the Bible when it was the Quran. Maybe because just Satan. I think that's more associated with Christianity. Maybe because of The Simpsons or something, I don't know. So the one about hitting your wives, and if they obey you, they have no right to act against them. God is most high and great. So most people guessed the Quran, and that was also correct. Interesting. So what did we find? Well, probably not much, to be honest, because the sample size was quite small and it was just my buddies on Facebook. But something that I did want to mention is that there's a greater context to all of these verses, both on the side of Islam and both on the side of Christianity. This context isn't shown in these tiny little snippets, and there is probably an apologist from some part of the world that would be able to explain away all the problematic parts of these problematic verses. This quiz was just about our assumptions and how we view members of other religions, whether you're not religious or you are religious, and how we kind of how our own biases can affect how we view things. What I did find interesting, however, is that fundamentalists on either side would actually say the other side is wrong. And they would actually say the other side maybe was even inspired by Satan. And so if you have a Christian fundamentalist who believes that the Bible is the inherent word of God, it's literally God created this thing and gave it to humans and it is perfect. And you have the Islamic fundamentalist who believes the same thing for the Quran. And they believe that the other scriptures were inspired by Satan, or they were inspired, or they were written just completely by man. It's interesting to see that for the majority of people, they couldn't tell the difference between the inspired words of God and, at best, writings of men. I found that quite interesting to think about and to consider. And I was quite surprised that the majority of people actually landed somewhere in the middle, as if a coin toss and choosing between A or B. So if you found this video interesting and you like philosophy or religion and science, they're the kind of things that I like, and I like making videos on those things, so subscribe down below and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.